Om Shanti. In today's Murli, Baba says that when you do something, then others also follow you. Baba says that it has been explained to you so much that you must renounce the 5 vices. Do not get angry with anyone at home. You should have this thought: whatever others see me do, they will do the same. If I become full of vices, anyone who sees me will also become full of vices. So this is what Baba is saying today. And there was this one sister who had come and she told me, I have a big problem. So I asked her, what is the big problem? Then she said, my father has this sanskar of anger and is a very angry person. You could say he is famous for his anger. And as a child, my father loved me very much. And we were pretty close, very tight. But then as I grew up, because I always grew up in and around him, and because he was always angry, so I don't know, but I have also become the same person as he. So I have the same intensity of anger in me now as I have grown up. And because I've always grown up in and around him, so the closest relationship I have shared with someone is with him. So when I started having a personality of anger, the first person I showed my anger to is my father. So then he didn't like it. And you see, that girl had this whole analysis, and she had done this whole analysis about her personality, and she was telling me, and she was not very she was, I think, 20 years of age of the physical body or something. And then she told me that when I started getting angry on my father, he started hating me like anything. And then one day I told him, why do you hate me? I'm just your reflection. If you hate me so much, why don't you hate yourself so much as you hate me? Because we are the same people if you look intently. And then that day, I think our relationship got over. And then she said, we are not on talking terms ever since that day. And then she told me that, he is suffering, and in that suffering I can also see that probably since I have the same traits, I will also suffer like him someday. So I have come here and I want some solution. So then I asked her to take the course and understand things and work on her sanskar. But what I'm trying to tell you is that, it always, people like this situation that you are vicious and the other person is a recipient of your vice. So, the other person is on the receiving end. If you are very vicious, if you have a lot of greed, then other people should be around you satisfying your greed. Or if you're very egoistic, then people around you should keep feeding your ego. Or if you're angry, then others should take your anger lying down. That's how you like it. But the thing is, if you are full of vice, then the people around you will pick on that sanskar, and they will also become the same like you. And in Hindi we say, ek myan mein do talwar nahi reh sakti. So, you cannot, then, in that one sword case, two swords cannot live. And then, you become a sword, and then the other person is also like that same knife. So you will kill each other. So you cannot stay in the same place. Now, you see, it's the same for lust also. I have seen people who are very vicious, very lustful in their personal lives, but they don't like their children doing the same thing. And the thing is, if you are so full of lust, then obviously your children are picking on that vibration, that energy in and around you, and they will also turn out to be like you sooner or later. And then you will not like it. So Baba says that this is what is happening in the world, that you like to be vicious, but you don't like it when the people around you become equally vicious in the same vicious in the same quality and quantity as you, and then you have a problem. But then there is this expression, you've created a monster. So if you are a monster, you create a monster. So, and that creation is a very subtle process, because just by being you, you are inspiring others to be like you. And there is a role of your actions, there is a role of the atmosphere you create through your attitude, your vibrations. So everything, every soul picks on everything around itself. And then they turn out to be exactly like you, and then you don't like it. So if there are two people who are miserly, so have you seen two conjuice people together? It's a very beautiful scene to watch. So nobody is willing to spend the money, and everybody wants everything. So there is nobody to exploit, and everybody wants to be the exploiter. So that becomes a very difficult situation. Now, if you are always paying attention to money, then the other person, you are also teaching the other person to be the same. So they are also learning how to protect their money, and how to not spend, and how to do the same thing as you do. And not only with you, but generally, they are picking on that sanskar. So this is what Baba is saying, and Baba says, be very wary of this. So if we want a life where we are not in the receiving end of other people's vices, because you see, the fact is that you like to be vicious, but you don't like to be on the receiving end of vices. Yes, so even with a sanskar like not being punctual, not being on time, you like to reach late, but you don't like people when they come late. So, but then whatever you do creates that culture, and other people will also around you behave like the same you are doing. So then you will not like to be in the receiving end of that. So don't promote that culture. Yes, so don't promote that culture. And I will tell you something, in the yajna, there it is said in Hindi, jo karam hum karenge, hame dekh kar aur karenge. So whatever I do, others will see and do the same. And in the yajna, in the centers, in Madhuban, in Baba's home, everywhere, this thing is given a lot of importance, and everybody takes care that not only about what my intention or what my action is, but also about what it looks like to the others. Because sometimes you might have a reason, a very valid reason for doing something, but then the other person will not get the context. They will not get the fact that the context in which you are operating is different from their context. Let's say, when dadis are very old physically, then they have every reason to sleep in Amrit Vela, don't they have? So, the body is sick and they have so much of pain and old age and other stuff. But still, everybody wakes up in time, even when there is a lot of pain and other stuff. And it's not just about remembering Baba, that is, of course, there. But then, even if they missed Amrit Vela one day, it wouldn't make such a big difference because they've been meditating for 50 years, 60 years. They already have that spiritual power. But why do they continue that thing? Because the person who is seeing it will only see Dadi missed it, so I am also allowed. So, a lot of care is taken about how it appears to other people, because people really don't get that Dadi is old and I am young and there is a difference of context here. And I will tell you one incident where Prakashmani Dadiji was asked why she always gives drishti to her food. So, Prakashmani Dadi was asked this question that, Dadi, you are, so you have been a Raj Yoga practitioner for so long, and you're such a pure soul that anybody who passes by you can feel your purity. So is it not like even if you eat without giving drishti to the food will get purified in your body? You are so pure. So you don't have to give drishti to the food before eating. So you could just eat it and the food will feel, like it got drishti from you by entering your body. So this was something that Dadi was asked. But Dadi said that, you see, probably you are right, but the thing is, when I eat, there are many people watching. And if I don't give drishti to my food, then those souls who are very new in Gyan, they will not learn that they have to give drishti to their food and eat it. Because they will think that eating directly is okay. But maybe what you're telling about me is true, but it's not true about them. So then I have to take care that I follow Srimad properly so that others see me and follow it accurately. So this is very important. It is very important for us to recognize that whenever you are, Mama used to say, never forget that this is a world stage and every moment you are on a stage. And when you are on a stage, people are watching. So even though you may not be aware, but there is always somebody watching you, somebody being influenced by you. Even if it is not somebody in your proximity, it might be somebody distant, because even your vibrations are creating the atmosphere. So somebody is picking on your energy all the time. So you should be very aware about what you are doing, what signal it is giving, what influence that action is having, whether you are acting viciously or virtuously. This should be in our constant attention. So this is something, and connected to this, there is also something in the blessing. So Baba today says that, so Baba says, don't forget you are a very special soul. So Baba says, remain constantly ever ready. Let no problem become an obstacle to your becoming complete. Always have the awareness, I am a most valuable, special soul in the world. My every thought, word and action is special. Let not a second be wasted. So Baba says that if you pay attention to every thought, word and action, and you understand that every second the thought I am taking, the word I am speaking, the action I am doing is important, then what happens is, you take care that my thought, word and action is accurate every moment. And it may so happen that you are in a situation where there is something that is, trying to have an effect on your thought, word, and action. But just imagine that you got affected by that, and just then you lost your life. You left the body. Then what will your antamate sogati be? So, what will happen after that? So, every moment could be my final moment. Don't forget this. And Baba says, be ever ready. So, in every moment, I should be on my best, in the best state of my being, because any moment could be my moment where I have to leave the body, and that moment, my state in that moment, will decide my onward journey. So I have to be ever ready. And to be ever ready, I have to have this consciousness that despite whatever is happening around me, my thought, word, and action matters. And if I pay attention to my thought, word, and action, and I keep it, pure, peaceful, loveful every moment, then any moment which is a moment to go will be fine with me. Okay, so this is something that Baba is saying in the blessing, which is connected to, your sense of self, that you are on the stage and whatever you do should be unique and special all the time. And then in the slogan, Baba says, continue to accumulate in your account of elevated actions, and the account of sinful actions will automatically finish. Now, let's understand this slogan, let it not confuse us. So, it's not like if you have 5 points accumulated in your account of elevated actions, then it will cancel what you have accumulated in your account of sinful actions. It doesn't work like that. It's not like if I said 5 abusive words to one person and then I gave Baba's introduction to 5 people, then that will be cancelled. It's not like that. But let's take this very example. Let's say I spoke 5 abusive words to somebody in the past, and then I gave Baba's introduction to 5 souls. Now, that account which I created in the past is there, so it will come before me. So that account will come for settlement. Now let's say that person who I was rude to or impolite with or abusive with, that person comes and he tries to, malign me in front of those 5 souls who have given Baba's introduction. Then these 5 souls will not get affected by that scene, because they know that you are a changed person now and your image will not be damaged. Okay. But if it was otherwise, if you had not done this elevated action, then probably that person coming and speaking ill of you could damage your image. Got it? So this is how it gets cancelled. It's not like it will never come to you, but you will have the circumstances, you will have the powers, you will have the virtues to deal with it. So when that past account comes to you, you will not feel that it has come to you. Now let's take the example. So let's understand this one law first, that any past sinful action that you have performed usually comes back in 3 forms. So first form is illness. Physical, mental illness is a form of karmic settlement. So the first thing is illness. Second thing is relationships which are unfavorable. So, people around you are not favorably oriented to you. They are jealous, they are conniving, they are conspiring, they are criticizing. So, unfavorable relationships around you is an example of karmic settlement from the past. And then third is, unfavorable situations around you. So maybe you are caught up in a legal issue, even when something is not of your immediate doing. So that's a karmic account settlement. Or you are caught up in a financial situation. You worked really hard, but then your finances are not okay anytime. So that's also a kind of a karmic settlement. Or you are in a situation of, war, or there is some illness in the environment, there is fear in the environment. You are in a situation where you are living in a terrorism affected place, and you have to deal with threats and fear and everything in the atmosphere all the time. So all these are examples of, your past karma coming in front of you in the form of physical situations, relationship issues, and financial situations, or legal situations, or other kind of situations. Now, when that comes, and when you are in that situation, then what you have to do is deal with it. Yes, there is no other choice. When you are in any kind of situation, what you have to do is deal with it. And the nature of a situation is, it comes, it persists for a while, and then it changes. The nature of every situation is this. Whether it is an illness, whether it is a relationship issue, whether it is an external circumstantial thing, the nature of every situation is, it comes, it persists for a while, and then it leaves. Now that while could be 10 years longer, that while could be 15 years longer, but it has to leave. Yes, so it cannot remain all the time. So it stays for some time, maybe longer time, shorter time, but then it changes. And until, that situation is there, because that's a creation of your past, right? So, so the kind of sins we have committed in the past, that determines how long that situation will stay. So right now, I don't have a choice about how long that situation will stay, right? So if there is an illness, and that illness has to stay for 4 months, 5 months, or a year, I cannot just wish it away. Yes, even if I don't like it, I resist it, I wish it away, it's not going. So the situation that has come has a predestined, it's predestined because it was created by you in the past, and you don't have a control about going into your past and changing it. So it's a fruit that's coming from past action. So you have already done the past action. So in that sense, it is predestined by your own actions done in the past. So in the present moment, it is a given. You cannot do anything about it. But the only thing you can do is deal with it. And how you deal with it. And how you deal with it depends on your present karmic state. So if you have done a lot of elevated actions, and you have a lot of, stock of virtues and powers, and Baba's blessings, and blessings of the family, and these blessings, these powers, these virtues or you have accumulated a lot of knowledge from Baba about how to deal with things, or the power of yoga that you have accumulated, this will help you settle the situation. So, Paap ka khata is settled by accumulation of Punya ka khata. Okay, so, but it's not like it just gets cancelled. It comes, but you're able to deal with it. And sometimes you're able to deal with it so well that you don't even feel you were in a situation. Yes, because in my personal experience, earlier when I was not in Gyan, I used to look at everything as a problem and I used to get troubled by it. But when I came into Gyan, for some time I looked at everything as a challenge. And this change in attitude towards what looked like a problem earlier is an indication of your punya ka khata. So if you have accumulated good karma, elevated actions, then it will change your attitude towards the problem. You will feel like it's a challenge. And it's helping me, it's helping me discern my weaknesses and, helping me rise above my weaknesses. And it will look like a test which when you pass, you will feel happy. And now if you ask me, I feel that everything that looks like a problem to others is an opportunity for me. Because I feel there is so much potential to, grow and serve in every problem. So whenever there is a problem which is in the body or in the mind or somewhere else, then there is always something new to learn and overcome that problem. And when there is something on the external, then it is always an opportunity for seva. So, if you look at the COVID situation, it was an opportunity for Baba's children because you were in great strength, you were in good form, and then it became an opportunity to serve those who are suffering from fear and pain and sense of loss. So this is how a problem becomes an opportunity. So Baba says that this is how elevated actions help you overcome the account of sinful actions. Now, this being said, today Baba says that sweet children, while sitting or moving around and doing everything, remain silent. Remember the Father and you will receive your inheritance. There is no need for songs or poetry. Now, first thing we will discuss is we use songs, right? So, songs, commentaries, we always use. So, even in the beginning, there is a song, and in meditations also, Raj Yogis use commentaries. So, first thing is that wrong? Or should we not use it? So, or if we are using it and Baba is saying there is no need for songs, then what is the purpose, right? So, today Baba says that it is not about listening to songs or commentaries, but it is about understanding through the intellect. Yes? But that understanding takes time to develop. Okay? And our if the soul has nerves, so the soul doesn't have nerves, but we are talking figuratively. So those nerves of love for Baba, those nerves of knowledge, nerves of peace have all dried up. So now there is no juice flowing in them. when we come to Baba, our nerves of knowledge, peace, purity are all running dry. So, when something is running dry and it's cluttered and there is no passage, then you have to forcefully, try to open that whole, passage. And basically, these commentaries and these songs that we use, they are trying to do that. So they are trying to revive our nerves of knowledge and purity and love for Baba. So, when you hear a song which is full of love for Baba, so you also start, that song triggers your love for Baba. Or you hear a song which reinforces that you are a peaceful soul. So there is the song Shant Swarup, Shakti Swarup, Prem Swarup Main Atma Hu. So, when you hear that song, then that song is trying to activate your peaceful self. So, in the beginning, when we are not very clear about our understanding, or we don't have the strength to bring up these feelings or these states of knowledgeful, peaceful, loveful states in connection with Baba and in connection with the self, then these songs and commentaries help us. Yes, but when you have already, reached that place where you feel loveful, you feel that attitude of love for Baba even without a song, or you can create that state of peace for yourself without a commentary, then you don't need this. Okay? And then Baba today says that even while you are moving around, doing everything, just remain silent. Now, what does silent mean? Silent doesn't only mean silent with the mouth. Yes? So, in Hindi, there is a word antarmukhi. So, you see, this is the face, the mukh, and the face has the ears, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and also the skin. So all the 5 sense organs are there in the face. And antarmukhi means you detach from the mukh, you detach from your sense organs, and you just sit in the awareness of your peace, that I am a dot, full stop, I am silent. And when you are detached from your sense organs, then you are detached from the sights and sounds of this world. So Baba says that when you are doing everything or you're moving around, just be a little detached. Yes, so, and do you know that our mind is capable of doing 7 things at once? So, have you seen a person who drives? So, he's paying attention on the steering wheel also, he's having a sandwich also, listening to the music on the side, looking into the rear view mirror, and then he's talking to the people sitting in the back. So, you can do all of these things together. So Baba says what you have to do is, even when you're doing one thing, so even when you're doing some work or moving around, just keep all your 6 faculties towards me and only 1 towards that work. And you be detached. And in that detachment, so detachment is not like you are not connected to what's going on around you. But basically it's about having all these levels of awareness with Baba and only one level of awareness on the external. So you're not completely into the external, you are doing things on the external, but then all your other levels of awareness are with Baba. Okay, so that is detachment. And then Baba says, while you're doing everything, just remember me. Now, when you remember Baba, then your yoga is with Baba. And Baba is the ocean of knowledge, peace, purity, everything. So then your state is knowledgeful, loveful, peaceful, happy, everything. So it's not like your state is peaceful, loveful, happy, but not knowledgeful. So, God is what God says. So you cannot, whenever you remember Baba, you remember Baba's words also. You remember Srimat also. So Baba says, when you are in silence while you're doing everything and you're connected to me, then you are receiving guidance not in the form of some external guidance, especially Baba will give you. No. You are in remembrance of what Baba spoke in the Murli today, or what is Baba's Srimat, or what Baba has told you about everything. And then you are in awareness about your state of peace and calm and your capacity to be happy, come what may. And in that state of awareness, when you do actions, then you are settling karmic accounts rather than creating new ones. Yes, and you are also benefiting others through your state of being. So that is, settlement of old accounts and creation of new good karma side by side. And that is what helps you earn your inheritance. So Baba says, you will receive your inheritance if you do this. If you, while doing everything, you are inward oriented, connected to me, and you're performing every action knowledgefully, lovefully, peacefully, powerfully. And then every action includes an element of seva also, and that makes you earn your inheritance from me. Okay? And then for this, you don't need any songs or poetry. You can do this internal work if your understanding is good. And when your understanding is not good, then every time you want to remember Baba, you will need a commentary and song, which is okay in the beginning. There is no problem. In the beginning, if you're doing it, it's not a problem. It's not like you're not able to and then you just struggle. No. You can take the support of songs and commentaries for some time, but slowly, gradually develop that understanding and connect internally. Okay? Om Shanti.